starts right now.
New on the Nightbeat, a man who was shot in the leg early this morning now facing murder charges after he tried to confront the person he thought fired the shots at his home.
The deadly shooting happened early this morning in the 5,000 block of Middlefield Drive that's on the city's southwest side. That's where the victim, 43-year-old Gilbert Lopez, was allegedly shot by 36-year-old Joseph Fernandez. Police say 10 minutes prior to the fatal shooting, Fernandez was hit in the leg by a bullet when someone drove by his home in the 5500 block of Little Creek Drive.
Now, according to an arrest affidavit, Fernandez and his brother then drove to the home on Middlefield to confront somebody they suspected of doing that drive-by shooting. Fernandez then got into an argument at some point with Lopez, who was then shot in the chest. Fernandez fled the scene and was eventually arrested back at his home. He's now charged with murder.
San Antonio police say a man lost his life this morning after swerving on the highway and then going over a concrete wall. Police tell us the man was driving south on I-37 around 2:30 in the morning. They say he lost control of the truck, swerved into a concrete wall, and the truck flew over the wall. It landed in the grassy median below. Officers say the man was pinned and was pronounced dead at the scene.
A man killed in a shooting that may have stemmed from a love triangle has now been identified by the Bexar County Medical Examiner. 41-year-old Bobby James Yanez died from multiple gunshot wounds. His death ruled a homicide. San Antonio police say the shooting happened on Pelican Landing in the Mission Del Lago neighborhood back on Wednesday morning. 32-year-old Jesse Gomez is accused of shooting Yanez after he visited his home. He told police he believed Yanez was in a relationship with his partner, which led to the deadly argument. A new beer is raising more than just spirits at Alamo Beer Company. Tonight, the brewery launched its new Wandering beer, and the face of it may be familiar.
Yeah, the night team's Avery Everett shows us how this beer is raising awareness and money for ALS research through the story of one Castroville man.
That's amazing.
Every brew brings more awareness to ALS. Tonight, Alamo Beer Company debuted its Wandering Draft, an IPA that's light, hoppy, and holding a bigger purpose.
Well, if you can't tell from the grin on my face, I'm beyond excited.
Named after Castroville's Juan Reyes, a man who's lived with the progressive neurodegenerative disease for the last 8 years.
I never imagined that I would see my name on the beer.
The beer is a part of Ales for ALS. It's a fundraising program that raises awareness and money for ALS research through microbreweries across the U.S. And now San Antonio, specifically Alamo City Beers, is on that list.
Oh yeah, I expect it. I expect it to sell out. This is a really good turnout, and more people are coming in, so I'm really happy to be a part of it.
On coasters and on posters, Reyes' story is a part of this IPA.
Oh, look at this. No chugging. No, this isn't a chugging contest.
Reyes travels nationwide advocating for ALS research, treatment, and changes in laws. He and his wife, Meg, just got back this week from a bucket list road trip.
But we did almost like 36 stops.
Now the next journey, starting his new treatment on Monday.
We've always just had this desire to just do the things that we can while we can.
All we can do is live our best lives.
These beers may sell out, but Reyes says he's not ready to stop.
That I will lend mine to the ALS community for as long as I'm able to speak.
Even people who don't typically like IPAs say they love the Wandering beer, but it might not last for much longer. They only have about 300 servings. As for where Juan and Meg are headed next, they say their next bucket list item trip is in October. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News. Juan, always inspiring. Thank you so much for that story. On to other news. One man in custody tonight facing 3 charges for allegedly threatening a security guard with a knife and then barricading himself at the Toyota plant this morning. This all happened around 5:30 in the morning. The guard told SAPD a man drove up to a security shack at the Toyota plant and came inside. He said when he told the man to leave, he refused, showed him a knife, and stole his phone. The guard left and called 911, and SWAT responded to the scene. After 4 hours of negotiations, they had to use tear gas to get the man to come out. He was arrested and charged with aggravated robbery, criminal trespass, and criminal mischief. In a statement sent to KSAT today, a spokesperson with Toyota says no personnel were involved or affected.
Happening around Texas, police in El Paso looking for a gunman who opened fire at a party last night and injured 6 people. El Paso police say the shooting happened near the El Paso Country Club. Witnesses say the gunman targeted a high school party. None of the injuries were considered to be life-threatening, and so far, no one is in custody. Back here closer to home, a Von Army patrol officer had to be cut out of her vehicle this afternoon after she became trapped in it. That officer was on her way to an accident when she became involved in that accident at the intersection of I-35 on the frontage road at 1604. Now you can see the patrol unit flipped on its side there. She had to be cut out and taken to the hospital for injuries. Bexar County Sheriff's deputies say that she was alert and responding to them. The accident caused temporary traffic delays in that area while they worked to clean it up.
Well, Latinos in Texas now make up the largest share of the state's population, and Bexar County has the highest Hispanic population in all of Texas. That's all new information on recent census data.
Yeah, the Night Team's Camille Juarez now tells us what this data means for lawmakers.
I'm not surprised. It was just a matter of time.
Since 2000, the Hispanic population has doubled to nearly 12 million Hispanic Texans.
This is something that, many demographers predicted over time.
Monica Cruz from the Texas Demographic Center says that trend is set to continue. Demographers predict there to be 20 million Hispanic Texans by 2050. Graciela Sanchez from the Esperanza Peace and Justice Center hopes lawmakers will take this data seriously.
And I hope that our leadership takes advantage of using that information and then trying to create policies and budgeting that will support our communities.
A chunk of the growth comes from Hispanics moving from other states to Texas. Another piece of growth comes from birth rates.
We've experienced declines in birth rates among all racial ethnic groups over the past decade, but still Hispanics have higher birth rates than the other racial ethnic groups, which has been, a part of the driver.
Nearly half of Hispanic Texans live in Dallas, Harris, El Paso, Hidalgo counties, and of course, Bexar County.
San Antonio is the only city that actually has a majority of the Hispanic population, where now stand at about 64% of the city's population.
Census data also revealed the median income for Hispanic Texans is $55,000, compared to non-white Texans earning $81,000. Sanchez hopes future policy will create a more equitable Texas.
And so how do we improve the education of our community? How do we improve the health of our community? How do we improve just the lived experience?
If you're looking to connect with Latino culture, come to the Esperanza Center. They have art, speakers, even books, all from Latino authors and artists. Camila Juarez, KSAT 12 News. All right, switching gears now to a look outside with live cam here this Saturday night. It is still a little warm out there, sitting at about 90 degrees still here in San Antonio, and it definitely was a noticeably hotter start to the weekend compared to what we saw out there yesterday with some rain-cooled air where we only topped off in the low 90s. Earlier this afternoon, after we saw the cloud cover break up a bit more, we saw more sunshine, and our daytime high officially hit that 100-degree mark here in town after starting off in the muggy upper 70s. Get used to it, because high pressure is going to strengthen in the coming days, really become the big driver of our weather pattern here in the Lone Star State. So the main focus is going to turn to the heat, with multiple daily opportunities to climb into the low triple digits. Those afternoon highs maybe even building a few degrees by this time next weekend. So we'll get you a full look at all of those details and what we'll be monitoring in the days ahead coming up in just a few.
Well, coming up, the blazing hot sun has dropped water levels across the state, but an area business owner who relies on the river says the lazy river feel of the Comal is keeping his spot lively and helping kids avoid the summer slide, the activities they can do to hold on to the lessons learned throughout the summer break and stay ready for that upcoming school year.
And the manhunt for an escaped murder suspect intensifies in Pennsylvania, what police say is complicating their search. When we return.
A massive manhunt underway in Pennsylvania for a murder suspect, Michael Burham. Authorities describing him as a self-taught survivalist.
ABC's Chuck Sievertson has the latest on the search that has law enforcement warning residents there to be vigilant.
We want the public to be vigilant. and we want them to be aware this is a very dangerous person.
This morning, the urgent manhunt underway for a man who has escaped from this county jail in Pennsylvania, and now a frantic search for the suspect who has now eluded authorities twice. Police say 34-year-old accused murderer Michael Charles Burham is considered very dangerous.
We are asking local residents to check their home cameras and doorbell cameras during the time frame of 11:30 to 12:30 last night into this morning and see if they see anything suspicious.
Burham escaped from the prison through the recreational area using exercise equipment through a metal gated roof.
He then used bed sheets that he tied together and was able to escape to the ground from the roof.
Authorities in Pennsylvania and bordering New York are now in a desperate search to find him, last seen wearing an orange and white jumpsuit, a denim jacket, and Crocs. Burham was being held in Pennsylvania for arson and burglary and suspected sexual assault. He is also a suspect in a homicide investigation in New York of 34-year-old Kayla Hodgkin. And last month, he led police on a 2-week manhunt after he allegedly kidnapped an elderly Pennsylvania couple, driving them to South Carolina, where he was eventually arrested.
That was not Chuck Sievertson reporting.
Yes, got mixed up a little bit, but more information closer to home. What we're worried about here is
the return of the heat.
Sunburn, heat exhaustion.
Broil on the oven setting.
Not looking forward to it, if I'm being honest, because yes, it was already hot out there this afternoon compared to what we saw the past couple of days, and get used to it because that triple-digit heat, unfortunately, it's not going anywhere. So let's take a look back at the past 5 days that we've seen here in San Antonio. So July 4th on Tuesday and then into Wednesday, temperatures were just a few degrees above the average for this time of year, which is about 94 degrees here in town. But Thursday and into Friday, not too bad because we actually had some rain on the radar, some spotty showers, a couple of healthier downpours were able to develop. But today didn't really have that closer to town. So after we saw the morning cloud cover break up, we saw more sunshine out there this afternoon. We officially were able to hit that 100-degree mark. Now, we did not break a record. The record was 105, but it wasn't just us who saw this heat quickly build in to kick off the weekend. Austin, 99 degrees, San Angelo, 98. They were spared of a record, but not El Paso. Way out in far west Texas, they hit 108 degrees, which actually broke their existing record of 107 because that heat high pressure system is anchored directly over them. So more on that in just a bit. But first, kicking off your Sunday, again, we are expecting more triple-digit days in the days ahead, mid to upper 70s first thing tomorrow morning with some additional cloud cover working back in just because the moisture is still in place. But I do think that cloud cover is going to break up pretty quickly, especially by late morning and into the lunchtime hour. More sunshine, temperatures climbing to about 91 by noon, and then into the late afternoon, still more sunshine expected. I do think we will be able to hit that 100-degree mark yet again, feeling more like 105 degrees. Now we're talking about that heat high. Right now it's a little bit farther off to our west, and notice riding along the northern edge of that high pressure system is the rain. It's just being deflected around us. In fact, even some severe weather tonight across portions of the Texas Panhandle stretching over into Oklahoma. That's where the Storm Prediction Center has a 2 out of 5 risk for a few severe thunderstorms to develop. None of that close to home here in South Central Texas, and unfortunately heading into the back half of the weekend and through the majority of next week, we don't even have any rain chances in the forecast, and this is why that high pressure system is going to strengthen even more so over the Lone Star State, which means the big focus is going to continue to be the heat. So with a forecast high of 100 tomorrow, that actually looks to lead in more daily opportunities to climb into the low triple digits. Yes, potentially even building a few degrees each afternoon all the way through next week. And into the afternoon hours, we still have a little bit of moisture present. So I think those heat index values could top off in the range of about 105 to 110. So heat safety going to be important in the days ahead as well. A week to keep the water bottle handy, stay hydrated, and of course, wear plenty of sunscreen. So again, tomorrow we're in the mid to upper 70s into into the afternoon. Upper 90s and low triple digits, around 100 officially here in town, 99 in Bandera, 100 in New Braunfels, and 101 for places like Nixon, stretching over to Floresville. I wish we had better news, but that really is going to be the theme moving forward, with plenty of sunshine out there as well. So maybe a great couple pool days for those that don't have school. But again, it's going to be a stretch of days, so definitely take it easy out there in the heat, y'all.
All right. Thank you so much, Mia.
The worst part, we can't just say, well, it's a dry heat.
We can't say any of that.
No.
That's why I just said. That's why I just said thanks, Mia.
Yeah. But also as hot is Pop's new deal with the Spurs. Will keep him around for at least 5 more years.
Yeah. How about Greg Popovich stealing some of the headlines from Victor Wembanyama out there in Las Vegas? So we learned today that Coach Pop's not leaving the Spurs anytime soon. We'll give you more details on Pop's new deal coming right up. And Larry Ramirez has more reaction to, of course, Wemby's big debut at Summer League. Plus, there's a new NBA trophy to play for during the regular season. We'll break down the league's in-season tournament and explain how all of this works. Sports is coming up next.
Good pace to this game. Nice rim run by Wembanyama, and there it is.
Well, it may have been a few tries, but we got Wemby's first points of the Summer League. The Wemby debut is finally in the books out in Las Vegas. Spurs head coach Greg Popovich will be along for the Victor Wembanyama experience for some time now. The Spurs announced today that Coach Pop just signed a 5-year contract extension. ESPN is reporting that it's worth $80 million, making Pop the highest paid head coach in the NBA. So Greg Popovich is 74 years old and is already the winningest head coach in NBA history, but he's shown no signs of slowing down and now gets to coach Wembanyama. Popovich was in Vegas last night to watch Wemby's Summer League debut. All eyes were on Victor before the Spurs played the Hornets in front of a sellout crowd. KSAT Sports' Larry Ramirez was in the building and has all the reaction to the Wemby era, starting in silver and black.
Yeah, thank you very much, RJ. Wemby mania hit a new level last night here in Las Vegas thanks to his Spurs debut. He had both good and not so good moments, but trust me, he is the real deal. All he has to do is adjust to the NBA and shake off some rust. Now, after the game, Summer League head coach Matt Nielsen was asked how did he think Wemby played.
Yeah, good. I mean, that's his first hit out with us. Hadn't played with those guys yet either. So I think all in all, he did a good job. And obviously there was a lot of attention on him. You can talk about the outside stuff, but the physicality, and that was something that they'd obviously lined him up as you would. And I thought he navigated it for the most part pretty well.
Wembanyama was playing in his first game in 3 weeks, and it was his first contest with his new teammates. Chalk it up as another step in Wemby's progress as he learns how to play the Spurs way.
I think the hardest for me was understanding sometimes I was off rhythm with the plays and the calls, and I think it's the biggest improvement I got to do. It's being ready and being ready to react to the plays that were called by the point guard, and stay connected.
From guys like Jeremy Sohan to the Summer League players, the Spurs are doing their best to connect with Victor. Not only did Jeremy practice with the Spurs here in Las Vegas, but he also went to see Wemby's debut along with several other Spurs, including Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell.
I traveled with them coming to Vegas, so it's really, I know I said it before, but there's a really good dynamic with this group. It's not every team who would have almost the whole team on the sideline like this. And of course, they were all really supportive, and I practiced with them a little bit, so they gave me advice, and I know they trust me and they believe in me, and it's really comforting.
And his teammates absolutely love him. Julian Champagny said that Wemby is a cool dude and that he likes to learn. That's awesome. RJ, back to you.
All right, good stuff out there, Larry. So the Summer Spurs are back on the court tomorrow night to take on the Portland Trail Blazers. Number 3 overall pick Scoot Henderson will reportedly not play because he hurt his shoulder. We'll wait to see how many minutes Wemby gets tomorrow. So tip-off is set for 7 p.m. And a day after his debut, Wembanyama was part of the NBA's big announcement today of the new in-season tournament, which tips off this year. Wemby sat next to Warriors head coach and former Spurs player Steve Kerr and Wolves star Anthony Edwards. The league showed off the NBA Cup, which is the trophy for this new in-season tournament. The NBA also explained how this all works. So all 30 teams are part of the tournament. They were broken up into 6 groups of 5 teams. Those teams will play one another in November on Tuesdays and Friday nights. So the 6 group winners and 2 wildcard teams will then advance to the quarterfinal round. Then the semifinals are on December 7th and the championship game is December 9th. And all those games will be played in Las Vegas. So keep this in mind. All these games will count toward the final win-loss regular season record. And coming up at 10:30, we'll show you who the Spurs will be playing in their group for their first ever NBA in-season tournament. Also coming up at 10:30, what is the secret to SAFC's success now that they are 2-0 in July after going winless in June? We'll have that coming up at the top of the hour.
That in-season tournament perhaps a way to steal some of those eyeballs away that are watching football.
Yeah, that'll be a very interesting evaluation there. See how many fans kind of switch over.
Right, thank you, RJ.
Thanks, guys.
Straight ahead in the next half hour, the summer heat is dropping water levels and causing a popular body of water to become a lazy river. But it appears to be keeping one business very busy.
Plus, clients who received the so-called vampire facial at a now-closed spa in New Mexico could have been put at risk of contracting a disease. That story coming up. Welcome back on a typical hot summer day in South Texas, much like the one we had today. The cool waters of the Comal River are one of the beacons of relief from the heat, and tubing, of course, is one of the big ways to enjoy the summer days.
Yeah, but the current hot and dry conditions mean the trip down the river is a little different this year. The night team's John Paul Barajas explains why that could be good for a local business.
I have 4 tokens for you. Y'all are going to turn these in around the corner for your tubes. I also have 4 wristbands. All 4 of y'all will need to wear one. Have y'all floated with us before?
There you go. It's no secret. Come summertime in South Texas, you have to find ways to beat the heat. And for many, river tubing is a go-to pastime.
It's my first time, and I'm really excited. It's fun.
So you've been on the river before?
Yeah, too many times.
But this summer, water levels could affect your ride along the river. For the Comal, stream flow is at 113 cubic feet per second, which is about 3 times slower than it normally is. The float here on the Comal is about 2 miles long, and typically when water levels are higher, it takes about 1 hour and 45 minutes to complete the float. But with water levels dropping, the time is significantly slowed to 3.5 hours. But the owner of Texas Tube says that's not necessarily a bad thing for those enjoying the water.
We're at a point to where you can still float all the way through. That's what's important. People don't like to get up and walk. So about a 3-hour float, people have enough, they're ready to go, get some AC, get some food in town, and hit the sack pretty early.
Coley Reno owns Texas Tubes. He says even with the drop in water levels, business is good. And most people we spoke to are okay with the longer float. Can you tell the difference of how slow it is? Or?
Definitely. I think I enjoy it because it's just longer in the water, then you don't have to go through the shuttle if you want to come back.
But some with small kids say they'll think twice.
Yeah, that is a little bit concerning that it is going to take a little bit longer. But that's just us because we have a huge family, kids and all that, so we don't want to take too long on the river.
Slowed float or not, the Comal was packed and full of fun. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
From long hot days on the Texas rivers to across America, a small plane has crashed in Southern California, killing all 6 passengers on board. Now, according to a statement from the Riverside County Sheriff's Office there, deputies found that aircraft fully engulfed in flames in a field near the French Valley Airport, which is roughly 80 miles southeast of Los Angeles. That flight departed from Las Vegas. That crash under investigation.
Sheriff's deputies in Memphis, Tennessee believe they have now found the body of a missing 3-year-old boy. Early yesterday morning around 1 a.m., deputies say a witness called police saying a 4-year-old girl and a 3-year-old boy were spotted running in the street in their neighborhood. Deputies found the little girl, but not the little boy. The children's mother reportedly called police 4 hours later saying her kids were missing. Yesterday afternoon, search and rescue found a body in the lake, and it is believed to be the missing little boy. The case is under investigation. Well, clients who received the so-called vampire facial at a spa in New Mexico that closed about 5 years ago now being urged to get tested for bloodborne infections. According to the state's Department of Health, the spa has been linked to a new HIV case. The vampire facial involves using a needle to inject plasma into the skin on your face. The state inspection at the VIP spa revealed unsafe practices being used that could spread bloodborne infections to clients. The discovery is reportedly one reason why the spa was closed down in 2018. But last month, the owner of the spa pleaded guilty to 5 felony counts of practicing medicine without a license. Earlier this week, New Mexico's Department of Health asked former clients who previously tested to test again.
Cleanup crews have recovered 35,000 pounds of asphalt from a train derailment that likely caused the Yellowstone River Bridge to collapse in Montana. Officials say the collapse sent 6 train cars into the river. The Environmental Protection Agency said their priorities right now remain to remove as much material as feasible from the site and to minimize the impact of that cleanup on the ecosystem. The agency is also asking the community to report any sightings of asphalt and oiled wildlife in the area. The president of Montana Rail Link has said it could be weeks, not months, until the rail line into that area reopens. Caught on camera, deputies in Orlando, Florida arrest an off-duty deputy from a neighboring county after he allegedly tried to outrun them. Take a look. Lake County authorities say the Orange County deputy was speeding on a motorcycle, and instead of slowing down when they tried to pull him over, they say he sped off. Dash cam and body cam video capturing the incident. The deputy on the motorcycle did eventually stop, and as you can see, he was arrested after backup officers responded to the scene. That deputy has since been fired from the Orange County Sheriff's Office. He reportedly was with that office for less than a year.
In a little less than a month and a half, believe it or not, students are going to be back in school. But if you're not careful, the summer break could cause a learning gap for them. As the Night Team's Patty Santos reports, education experts say just 30 minutes a day is all you might need to prevent the summer slide.
Pieces do we have? Ready? Count for me. 1, 2, 3.
15 to 30 minutes a day of enrichment activities can go a long way to prevent summer learning loss, known as the summer slide.
We can see as much as a whole semester of learning loss over the summer when we don't keep it going.
Educators at Brighton Preschool gave us some ideas on easy activities. Just tailor it to your child's age and interests.
Have them do cooking activities with you. That's all math, measuring and counting and timing.
Reading, a walk at the park could become a science lesson. Cooking turns into a life skill lesson. Just be engaged. That means phones down and making eye contact.
Remember that it's quality of time that you want to work on, not quantity.
Student in Marissa Buentaya's class are learning using simple things most families have at home. Leaves, water, and Legos.
As long as we keep on feeding their minds, then everything's going to be great with them.
Keeping older kids motivated is a little tougher. Suggestions: provide them with age-appropriate reading on subjects in which they are interested, and maybe try something this teacher mom did with her own kid. Give them money and a task.
So we gave her her own budget. She had to budget, do some good math, and she had to make sure that she had all of her school clothes ready to go.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Experts say kids' vocabulary can be enhanced sometimes by just talking to them, along with writing and reading. And they add, sticking to a routine and sleep schedule will help them transition back to school next month. Well, coming up, the Northern Lights are expected to put on quite a show soon. We'll tell you when the light show will begin and how many U.S. states could get the chance to see the spectacle next.